Hi, this is Ed Downs at Aberco Incorporated, manufacturer of Piemaster turnovers, machines, and dough rollers. This is tutorial number 10 in the maintenance, operation, and safety of the Piemaster Model SA21. What we want to do in this video, we're going to run through a single cycle of the machine, talk through it before we put the control panel up and start hiding all the parts that we can't see. So we're going to do that real quick, just kind of a refresher. We've got the operator position over here with the two push buttons there and there. Required to press both of them simultaneously so your hand does not become a pie. When the operator pushes the push buttons, the computer sends a signal to open this air valve on the bottom. You can see where it says knife. It retracts the knife. As the knife comes back, magnet in here comes within proximity of that reed switch. When that reed switch closes, goes to the computer, sends a signal to the fill valve to open to send air up to the transmission. So the knife retracts, the transmission starts turning, filling starts coming out of the orifice. When the timer on the computer runs down for the amount of filling you want to deposit, it sends a signal to port air to the closed side of the knife. So the knife closes. When the knife breaks proximity with the reed switch, the transmission stops turning, the auger stops pumping, and then that sends a signal. When that timer runs out, it sends a signal to the roll motor, which is on this side over here, to the roll motor to roll these molds. The molds roll together, make the pie, drop it down onto the conveyor belt. That cycle is controlled by this cam switch. It comes around, hits this this cam hits this cancel switch, and stops the cycle. And the molds end up where they started from, and the system resets, is ready to go again. If you're using the water sprayer, at the same time, it's tied to the fill cycle. A signal is sent to the water sprayer. Water comes up through this filter. This solenoid opens, this solenoid opens this valve, water passes through here, comes over to this spray nozzle, and sprays the edge of the dough. That happens in conjunction with the fill cycle. It's on the same timer. So when the fill stops, the water stops, and then everything resets. So that's basically the cycle of the machine. It's pretty simple when you put it in those terms. Obviously, in the last 9 tutorials, we've talked about a lot of stuff that goes on that makes that simple process happen, but that's just a quick refresher on it. We're going to put the control panel on now and cover all this up, so I just wanted to go through that one last time before we did that. We've got the gears all lubricated in here with food-grade anti-seize. The gears up in the hopper are lubricated. I've gone back and double-checked all the nuts, bolts, screws, and everything that were tightened down and ready to go. And we'll put the top tent on. We call the control panel a top tent, by the way, if I hadn't said that before, because it kind of looks like a tent. And then we will start with what we do, first cycle the machine, and check some settings before we start making pies. So installing the control panel, we can set it down here on the conveyor, and we have the harness coming out of the wiring bridge down here is long enough that you can set it down here and plug that in. Over here, you'll see this triangle shaped piece. This end of the panel that we call the top tent rests on here, and then the back goes down. So ideally, 2 people are great for this, to have someone on each side of the machine. When you set the top tent down, if you drop it or you get way out of whack, you can hit the computer on the edge of the housing right here on the main box. So you just want to be careful. So if you're doing it by yourself, I do it from the back, and I get the nose of the panel on this support, and then I set the back down. This is adjustable from inside the knife box. You can move it up and down. So if it's your first time with the machine, or you've changed something, if you've had to get into the knife box and take it apart for something, what I do is I set this up as high as it will go, so I don't risk hitting the computer or anything on the sides. And then you can loosen it while you're supporting it, and from the back side here, and just let it slide down until holes in the top tent align with the PEM nuts here in the box. So we'll plug in the computer. Just this disconnect. When you unplug this, I'm not a big fan of having to do that, but sometimes you have to, because you're pulling on the female side of this that is you can't see that. That is connected to the computer. So when you disconnect this, just work it. You just flip this tab. You've probably seen those, and just work it back and forth really, really gently until you get it loose. This thing is anchored fairly well on here from the other end, pulling on, so you're not going to pull on the computer. It's got some stress relief in there. You might notice this looks different than the computer in the first videos. We did make some more changes. The indicator lights along here light up as each part of the process goes along. So if the machine stops at some point in the process, you can watch these lights, and they correspond to individual switches or functions. So say it goes through this and that, and then it doesn't roll, the lights will stop at that point in the sequence, so you can see, help you figure out where the failure is. There's USB ports in here as well. You can, if you want to use a mouse instead of the Kindle reader, holding it, you can mount the Kindle reader on a wall or something by the machine to keep it out of the environment, or a larger screen. And then you can put a wireless mouse. You can plug a little USB in there and operate with a wireless mouse. You can also, anything USB, you can plug in there if you want to do it that way. So what I like to do, like I said, is start, when I'm alone doing this, start from the back side. So get it up here. And I want to make sure that the harness coming off of the wiring bridge to the computer isn't going to get bound up in anything or wrapped around something. So then I flip it over like this, and I look in here so I know where the computer is, and I can make sure that both sides of this panel or the tent are on the outside of the panel, and then I bring it down like this, and there you go. And then there's those ubiquitous 1032 screws that are all over the machine. It's not quite seated, right? A little cockeyed. I might have to make an adjustment on this up here. I do believe I do. This is because this is a different top tent than we had in the first video, because we made those little upgrades to the computer. I'm going to have to make some adjustments so it sits down flat, and I'll come back after I do that.